I used to take my shoes off, believing I was walking on holy ground. That's how connected I was. You know, I wasn't cussing. I wasn't using no drugs. But when I was done, they said, "Welcome to the Brotherhood Illuminati," and they showed me a guy sitting on the throne with horns on his head. You know, I think his name's Best Mahat or something like that. And he was showing me a heart with his hands. He was doing this and smiling at me. I'm like, what the hell is that? What's this about, right? And I'm thinking, I don't know about that, man. And then they wanted me to order homeless people and stuff like that. And they got FEMA camps right now. They're ready to fill up, okay? And these FEMA camps have guillotines that are made by Chanel. They're called smart guillotines, all right? And we're talking about the end-time prosecution of Christians, right? So Bush Jr. signed an order. He was the last one to sign it into order that if you get caught praying to a false god or false idol, it's death by the guillotine. Okay, they haven't pushed the envelope on it, but that's a law. Now, what they're not telling you is the catch-22 is they're going to consider Jesus a false god and a false idol, and this is where the persecution comes in with the Christians. You know, and I heard they had barges of guillotines out there offshore. You know, but they do have them at the FEMA camps. They're called death camps. Once you get there, there's a good chance you're never going to leave. You know, and you know, I got priors. I mean, they know that I get off the homeless. I mean, they can't even hold me down when they're trying to put a mask on me because I can't breathe. You know, and I'm throwing away like rag dolls. Just get off me. You know, I can't breathe. Don't put that mask on. Sedate me. You know, they couldn't believe how strong I was. It happened at the boardwalk too. That, you know, they said you're strong. You know, they're patrolling to make sure that I don't come back and act crazy. We were at war. The way that they treated me was war. So when I took the chair that said unknown, which means it doesn't belong to nobody, okay, and I had it coming because they're kicking me out on the streets like they were, and we're at war the way they're treating me, I considered that, figuratively speaking, of course, spoils the war. I found out they were going to discharge me instead of doing, you know, formality of research on my body because of my congestive heart failure and stuff, you know, being that I was on a lot of mushrooms and it might have did some damage. They were just going to kick me right out, and I was still seeing butterflies in front of me. I was still hearing voices echo, and it's not even working, and they were going to kick me out. I had to call 911. So I called 911, and I'm talking to the dispatcher, and I told 911, you know, the scenario, what was going on. I said, man, they're trying to kick me out, man. I said, I can't, I'm suicidal. And I told them, and when I told the discharging nurse, she goes, nope, oh well, no, we're going to discharge you anyway. You know, she can get in trouble for that, because I could have been a threat to society. If I'm in the state of mind of suicide, I'm not caring about nothing. I could take out the whole bank, everybody in the post office or whatever. You know, and she should be held accountable for that. So when the sheriff showed up, you know, my legs and my hands, I said, I'm not chained down, you know. I can get up, man. You need to shut the F up, right? And so when by looking at me and they were talking, I could hear them. And I'm saying, hey, I'm looking at my legs and my hands. I said, I'm not chained down, you know. I can get up, man. You need to shut the F up, right? And so when I found out they were going to discharge me instead of doing, you know, formality of research on my body because of my congestive heart failure and stuff, you know, being that I was on a lot of mushrooms and it might have did some damage, they were just going to kick me right out, and I was still seeing butterflies in front of me. I was still hearing voices echo, and and it's not even working, and they're going to kick me out. I had to call 911. So I called 911, and I'm talking to the dispatcher, and I told 911, you know, the scenario, what was going on. I said, man, they're trying to kick me out, man. I said, I can't, I'm suicidal. And I told them, and when I told the discharging nurse, she goes, nope, oh well, no, we're going to discharge you anyway. You know, she can get in trouble for that, because I could have been a threat to society. If I'm in the state of mind of suicide, I'm not caring about nothing. I could take out the whole bank, everybody in the post office or whatever, you know, and she should be held accountable for that. So when the sheriff showed up and took me down the street to, I forget what the name of it was. It's just not that far down the road. and they let me sleep, and they fed me and let me sleep. And when I talked to the counselor there, right, caseworker, she was mad as hell, man. She goes, you know what? I'm tired of that. Dominican Hospital, they're awful. They do that to all of our patients that come over here, especially mental health patients, you know. And I told her, I said, man, I said, that was so wrong what they did. It was so humiliating. It was so terrible, you know, heartless, that I'm laying there and I'm seeing butterflies, I'm hearing voices, you know, and I have to pee. They're not give me a pee bottle, and I'm peeing on myself, and they're clowning me about it. You know, they're laughing and making me feel bad about it. You know, they're walking by looking at me and they're mocking me. It's like, oh my gosh, you know, it's like, I'm not tied down. You guys need to behave. You know, don't underestimate me like that. And plus, I'm a Marine Corps vet. I have an honorable discharge. The United States Marine Corps, not general, no other than straight up honorable. You know, and you don't honor that. You know, you're not appreciating your freedom. You know, I'm protecting your mom, your sister, and dad came back in a coffin with a flag over it. And I'm putting all that on blast and letting them know, you know, that they were wrong. They were so wrong. And I never experienced anything like that in my life, what I had to go through. So when I came back, okay, I don't steal, all right? Okay, I keep it clean. I'm honest. Try to be loyal. When I came back to get my speaker and stuff on my scooter, there just happened to be a brand new wheelchair right next to mine that says unknown. And I'm thinking, okay, somebody's looking out for me. Okay, so I take it, right? And and I told them that I came to get my stuff. I left a message to security. So I guess they checked the camera to see, you know, when I did, and then they seen me take the wheelchair, but they wouldn't have seen it otherwise. But I didn't consider it stealing, you know, because of what I had gone through. That they owe me. They owe me some honor. They should honor me. To kick me out on the streets like that, you know, and to not have anything, and have me push my scooter that doesn't work over to the bus stop, and I can't even get out on the bus. They're so wrong for that. You know, it's like, no, I could have came back in a, I'll say it again, I could have came back in a coffin with a flag over it when I raised my hand to defend your mom, your sister, and your dad when I joined the United States Marine Corps, okay, to make this country safe, okay, and you don't care. They don't care. You know, that was so wrong the way I got treated. You know, it almost makes me wish that I never raised my hand to defend the Constitution, to protect their mom, their sister, and their dad. So it's like, if we get invaded by another country, I'm not backing up the government, I'm backing up the people. But the way things are going, you know, the way that they treat me, they think, you know, that I'm expendable, I'm a donkey, I'm not a human being, you know, that they're not held accountable for their actions, and they are, you know. It's like, well, you know, if we got invaded and you were in danger, I would turn my head. You know, I ain't got your back. This Air Force symbol on it. But anyway, yeah. So anyway, when I went back over there right now to get, you know, stuff off of my scooter, I guess they expect me to take the whole thing. You know, I don't know. I don't want to take the whole thing. I just need to charge it. But, you know, I told them, I don't steal. You know, I didn't steal it. It said unknown. If it says unknown, it don't belong to nobody. You know, it's like a donation. You know, I don't need to steal. But I feel like I justified it because I felt that I had it coming. You know, especially as a veteran, and the way that they treated me and kicked me out the door. No, I'm taking that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like that, right? It's not stealing. There's a difference between spoils of war, you know, and stealing.
Spoils of war.
Yeah.
If a car has a key in the ignition and there's no name tag on it, could you take it?
No, during war. We were at war. It was war what was going on between us. Of course not. No. Don't get me wrong. But when there's a war, whoever wins the war, that's the language you're going to speak. And whatever gold is left, it belongs to the ones who win the war. That's considered spoils of war. We were at war. The way that they treated me was war. So, when I took the chair that said unknown, which means it doesn't belong to nobody, okay, and I had it coming because they're kicking me out on the streets like they were, and we're at war the way they treat me, I consider that, figuratively speaking, of course, spoils of war. I used to be a professional justifier, by the way.
Professional justifier?
Yeah, I was really good at it. I even wrote a statement, right? And it doesn't exist. I wrote it myself, and I wasn't sure what the word plausible meant 100% at the time, but I used it. So what I stated was, I should, actually this was directed towards Christians more than anybody else, not just towards me, right? As a Christian, I think I said in the beginning, as a Christian, I should never find enough reason plausible enough to make an excuse to justify whatever I say or do, because in doing so, I end up doing a lot of things that I think that's right. I think that's right, that's wrong. I wrote that. It don't exist. And I wrote that purposely for myself because I had so much change that I needed to exercise, and strive for betterment in my life. And that was one of the statements, paragraphs, that I had burned in the back of my brain cells so I could bring it up periodically, and rehearse those thoughts. So I'd stop being the person that I was. My ex-wife told me, "You're an awful person." She goes, "You justify a lot of things that you say."
Why?
They know I'm here.
They know you're here? Oh shoot, we gotta go? They see us?
They're patrolling to make sure that I don't come back and act crazy.